Equinity, equine equality. I've been riding horses since before I could walk. I've been around them my whole life. But I've only been competing for the last 3 to 4 years. And within these years, I've noticed improper training in terms of grooming, handling, tack, and many other ways for caring for these animals. For example, 3 years ago, I saw a horse bleeding from the mouth due to improper riding, scrapes and cuts covering its body, skin to bone, suffering right in front of my eyes. I was in disbelief, and immediately I knew I needed to take action on this. Now, I'm going to show you 2 photos, and I want to see if anyone can tell the difference. The photo on the left and the photo on the right. If you can't tell the difference, the horse on the right has its ears back, mouth open, back arched, and the eyes are white. These are all signs that the horse is in pain and discomfort. Now for the one on the left. He has its neck stretched out in front of the jump. His back is relaxed, allowing his back end to flow over the jump. His ears are forward, listening to what the rider will ask next, and his eyes are relaxed, looking at what the next jump will be. Now look at the rider's position. The one on the right is pulling on the horse's mouth to find the balance in his body that he doesn't have, ripping the horse in the mouth so much that his neck is almost hitting him in the face. Now on the left. She has her arms stretched out in front of her, allowing her horse's body to stretch out at its full capacity. Also, by releasing the reins is telling what the horse is doing is correct. Now, you might think that the kid is in the wrong and shouldn't be riding or competing horses, but in reality, he doesn't know any better, and it shouldn't be the trainers that should teach people this way. Horse abuse is a big problem in Indonesia, where many horses are overworked, malnourished, and physically abused. Yeah, did you know that a horse can live to 25 to 30 years, while a neglected horse only has a lifespan of 1 to 3? Imagine not being able to live past your teenage years because of the way you were getting treated. This mistreatment can lead to health problems and poor quality of the lives of these intelligent and sensitive animals. It's important to advocate for better treatment through supporting animal welfare organizations, while also encouraging the government to enforce animal welfare laws. A major and often overlooked problem in horses is depression. Some of the identifiers in depression for horses is being unresponsive to their people and environment, easily spooked, unwillingness to work, and in some, loss of appetite. Depression is a term that we've increased our focus with children to adults, but it's not something that we think of when it comes to our furry loved ones. I have immense passion for these animals, so for my quest, I knew I wanted to do something about this problem. Raising our horses, training our horses, and being there when they excel in our particular discipline is both intense and pleasurable, and they've become a catalyst to personal accomplishments and a center of a family activity. A means to social and a means to further social interaction with those equestrians who have horses they own. But these rewards come with great responsibilities, as these animals cannot compromise, as this animal will come to rely on us for its food, shelter, healthcare, training, and emotional interaction. Owning a horse, therefore, a privilege and a great responsibility. The element of science and technology has crept our way into our sport, in the way we feed our horses, and in the way we ride and train our horses. This requires knowledge for everyone who is involved. And it's essential that we have people who know, rather than people who guess, in the care and management for our horses. Undertaking an initial training program in basic horse care management for horses is essential for everyone who's involved. I had multiple ideas for what I wanted to do for this problem, but the one I decided to do is getting an FEI, also known as Federation Equestrian International program in Indonesia. It is to my understanding that by getting the trainer certified as an FEI coach, the welfare of the animals that are used in competition across Indonesia will increase significantly. The FEI program can help horses by improving care while also providing education, while also boosting the country's representation in the equestrian community. Years of horse abuse and no one doing anything. Was this going to continue until someone did something about this problem? These are a few guidelines in the FEI rulebook: fitness and condition, overall health, and how to transport a horse correctly, and knowing the rules of and methods of feeding. These are just a few of them, and the reason why I wanted to point them out is because a horse's fitness and condition is tied to its overall health. Knowing these signs can tell the trainer and rider what's going on with their horse. Transportation can be impactful because if done improperly, this can damage and cause harm both emotionally and physically to the horse, and lower its trust in humans. The feeding, which is growing significantly field, helps the horse keep in good health while also maintaining weight. And it also helps the horse if it isn't feeling well and helps it get out of depression, while also maintaining weight for competition. I'm so privileged to have trainers come from all around the world. Local trainers that were going to go to the Olympics, and much more. But unfortunately, not everyone has these privileges. And in my search for answers, I came across the role and function of the Malaysian Equine and contacted its executive secretary, Datu Malik. And they are prepared to organize an initial training for us. The training is all about the duty of care for the horse, and more importantly, how to work around a horse that is safe for oneself and for the animal. Having an FEI can help reduce some of the consequences of improper knowledge and training, such as swollen legs, improper saddle fitting, spur marks, improper hoof care, skin diseases, overbend of the neck, and mouth sores. Understand, for every item that the human needs to keep him safe and healthy, so does the horse, even more so, as he cannot communicate with us verbally. However, I knew getting an FEI program in Indonesia wasn't going to be enough. I'm also sensitive to the topic of cart horses, as my first pony, Paco, was rescued from the side of the road in Kuta, passed out on the hot concrete while getting beaten by a stick. And if it wasn't for Sabine Kaufman, he would have never gone up, he would have never seen to live another day. I started training problematic horses and ponies. But I'm not talking about the horses and ponies the local ones. I'm talking about the ones that have been imported from another country into Indonesia, the ones people pay thousands for, to be safe for their children and to be a perfect pet. But with most of the outcomes that I've witnessed, this is not of what the families had hoped for. And after these trainers would ride and train these ponies, they would often be scared of being ridden and find ways out of it, such as bucking, bolting, and throwing kids off. This would often make the family sell the ponies and the kids want to stop riding. When I started offering to take ponies in, I came across Elsa and Lanos in early December. I was offered to help sell these ponies as they were in Indonesia for 11 months and no one was interested in them. They were both physically unfit and unwell, and they were both advertised as kids' ponies. These two were both imported from Holland and advertised as kids' ponies, but in reality, they weren't. I came across many difficulties while working with these two, such as people told me what I was doing was incorrect, and I didn't know what I was doing because I was so young. And to time, they wouldn't listen to me when I told them that horses needed turnout. And this made the progress much longer. I took both of them to their first competition on the 7th of January 2023. It ended terribly, as both of these two were unfit and overweight. But it taught me so much. It also taught me that the only way I was going to succeed in selling and helping these two is if I brought them back to Bali. When I brought them back to Bali, they both started to improve, not just in their physique and health, but also in their discipline, and they both started to bloom in what they were doing. This is them now. We decided to buy Lanos, the one on the right. Even though he was young and unexperienced, and many people told me that it wasn't going to work out, I couldn't imagine my life without him today and what he has taught me. And I would also like to say that Elsa has won 3 first places, 3 third places, and 1 second place. And it's only our third competition of the season. She has taught me that the way to a horse's heart isn't by feeding it, but by understanding it. And when I understood her, she has poured her heart and soul into me and given me her all since day one. I would like to start by saying thank you to Ibu Esther, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have found these special ponies. Thank you to my teachers, Ibu Laura and Ibu Angie, for supporting me and being there for me. To my speech mentor, Paklo. To my friends, especially Amy, for working endlessly on my cue cards and my speech. To Leia for helping me rehearse multiple times. To my mom and dad for supporting me emotionally and financially. And to my coaches, Anna and Andri, for being there every step of the way. And to my grooms, because it wouldn't have been possible without them. I would like to end by saying I'm working towards sending a proposal to the head of Indonesian's Equestrian Perdasi, asking them for permission to start the FEI program in Indonesia. Thank you.